Welcome class. Today we are going to start your next chapter, that is direct and indirect. Okay, direct and indirect speech. So now what is direct and indirect speech? First let us know that there are two ways of saying what someone had said. That is direct speech and another is indirect speech. Okay, so now what is this direct speech and indirect speech? One way, when you are quoting the exact words that had been spoken at a time, or when you are molding the same meaning into your own words and speaking that. Means, for example, if I am saying you, the principal has said tomorrow is a holiday. Principal had said tomorrow, quotation, tomorrow is a holiday. Now, if I change this into my own meaning, what will I say? In my own words, what will I say? The principal has said, students, the principal has said that tomorrow the school will remain closed. There is a holiday. Okay, the next day is a holiday. So, this is the way of direct speech and indirect speech. Direct speech means when you are quoting the exact words spoken by somebody, and indirect speech when you are molding the meaning. Now see, Mahesh said, I am an active boy. Mahesh is saying, I am an active boy. Means supposedly I am saying you. Mahesh said, I am an active boy. That means who is an active boy? Mahesh. Okay, I am quoting the exact words said by Mahesh. But in that case, if I say as my indirect speech, Mahesh said that he is an active boy. Mahesh said that he is an active boy. Priya said, I have read the story. Priya said, I have read the story. Now, I have read the story means who? I am reading the story. I have read the story. No. These words have been spoken by Priya. So, when I will be speaking in my indirect speech, what will I say? Priya said that she had read the story. In case of I have read the story, I am changing it into my own words that she had read the story. Instead of saying the exact words quoted by somebody else, I will be saying that in my own words. And now, changing this direct speech, indirect speech, like how to convert them and what is the difference, there will be certain rules that you have to remember. Now, how will you, there are certain parts of direct speech. See, a direct speech is always placed within the quotation mark. See, this direct speech is always placed within the quotation mark. The direct speech is always placed within the quotation marks. Direct speech is always preceded by a comma. Means after this part, there will always be a comma. This part is known as your reported verb. This said is known as reported verb, and this entire thing within the inverted comma is known as reported speech. Okay, this is known as reported speech. This part is known as reported verb. And this two will be divided, will be disconnected by the help of a comma. And in direct speech, the first word always starts with capital letter. Not direct speech, it should be the reported speech. The reported speech, that is this reported speech will always start with capital letter. See, I am not lazy, I have read the story, are you a doctor? This reported speech always starts with capital letter. Now see, indirect speech, when we do not quote the speaker's actual word but tell them in our own words. We are not quoting the speaker's exact words. Rather, we are quoting the meaning. We are saying the meaning. Mahesh said, I am an active boy. Mahesh said that he... Okay, this had been changed. Mahesh said, I am an active boy. Mahesh said that he was busy. Means if this would have been like this, Mahesh said, comma, inverted comma, I am busy. Mahesh said, I am busy. So this is your direct speech and this is your indirect speech. Mahesh said that he was busy. And so on, all the examples are given. Now see, indirect speech is not put without in the inverted commas. As your direct speech was in the inverted commas, indirect speech will not be put in the inverted commas. And the reported speech is preceded by a conjunction, that, if, or whether. And in place of comma, there will be a conjunction like that, if, and whether. If and whether, these two will be used only for your question or your interrogative sentences. Your interrogative sentences, and that will be used for the rest. That will be used for rest. Okay. Now see, there are certain rules, as I had already said you, that there will be certain rules when you convert direct speech into indirect speech. What is rule number 1? When the reporting verb is in the present tense or future tense, the tense of the reported speech does not change. So in your earlier chapters, we had discussed about your tense. There is present tense, there is future tense, and there is past tense. Okay. Present tense means V or V plus S. This was your present tense, right? This was your present tense. Your past tense was V2. Past tense was V2. And future is will, shall plus V. I hope it is visible to you all. V plus S, V2, and future is will, shall plus V. So, now what is said over here? When the reported verb is in present tense, when the reported verb is in present tense, that means I had already said that in your direct speech, not indirect, but direct speech. Your direct speech, see, there are two parts. One is reported speech and one is reported verb. Reported verb means this said. Said is reported verb. This reporting verb means said. So, when this said will be in past tense or future tense. That means, in case of said, this is your V2. Said is your V2. Instead of said, if it is says, say, or will plus say. In case of said, if it is says or will plus say, in that case, the direct speech, the reported speech within the inverted comma, the tense of the inverted comma sentence will not change. Okay, see, Pankaj says, I am a student. I am a student. Pankaj says, I am a student. See, I am a student. What is tense? What tense is this? I am is present tense. What is says? Says is present tense. Now see the example. Pankaj says that he is a student. In case of I am a student, it is changing into he is a student. This pronoun is changing because I am changing from direct speech to indirect. But the tense, this is my present tense. Is my present tense. The tense is not changing if your reported verb is in present tense or future tense. For example, principal will say tomorrow is a holiday. Principal will say. See, again it is your future tense. This one is your future tense. Will say tomorrow is a holiday. This tense is present tense. So, if it is your future tense, the tense will remain same. Principal will say that, conjunction is used, that tomorrow is a holiday. See, it is also present tense. It is also present tense. So, what you have understood, that if the reported verb is say, says, or will say, tense is not changed. Okay. Now see, next rule. If the reporting verb is in past tense, that means if the reported verb is said. if the reported verb is said. Here the reported verb was says, say or will say. Here the reported verb is said. In that case, the verb in the reported speech is changed into past tense. Means the tense will change. In this case, the tense will change into past. Now, how it will change into past? Now see, it will change into corresponding past. It will change into corresponding past. See, corresponding past. Okay, means if this reported verb is said. So now see, Mehak, simple present. First we will be dealing with simple present. Means if this entire speech is in simple present. Now see, Mehak said this is a good painting. So what tense is this? Simple present. Mehak said that was a good painting. See, this is a good painting. Is changing to was. Here am was as it is. Am was is, means it was present. It was not changing into was. But here is changing to was. Here is or am is of same category. Both are present tense. This is not changing because the reported verb is in present tense. But here the reported verb is in past tense, and that's why this verb is changing. Next, present continuous. What is the format of present continuous? Is, am, are plus verb plus ing. This was V plus S. It is changing into V2. Okay. But here both are remaining V. This is also V. This is also V. This one is also V. But here see, V plus S is changing into V2. Is, am, are plus verb plus ing is changing into was, were plus verb plus ing. Rohan said, I am waiting for Richa changes to Rohan said that he was waiting for Richa. Who is waiting here? I means who? Rohan. So when I am changing into my indirect speech, it will be Rohan said that he was waiting for Richa. Am waiting is changing into was waiting. Present perfect means has, have plus V3 will change into had plus V3. Riya said, we have done our work. Riya said that they had done their work. Has, have plus V3 is changing into had plus V3. Simple past. See, this was your present tense. Now, this is your simple present, present continuous and present perfect. Present perfect continuous does not change. There is no change with present perfect continuous. Means had plus been plus verb plus ing, has, have plus been plus verb plus ing will not change. Next is your simple past. Format of simple past, V2. Preeti gave me a smile. See, gave. G-I-V-E. G-A-V-E. Gave. V2. V2 will change into past perfect. That is had plus V3. Had plus V3. Preeti gave me a gift. Tarun said that Preeti had given her a gift. Preeti had given her a gift. Had plus V3. Give, gave, given. Give is your V1. Gave is your V2. Given is your V3. Past continuous. Format is was, were plus verb plus ing. This will change into had plus been plus V3. Sorry, V plus ing. Veena said, I was reading a novel. Veena said that she had been reading a novel. Was, were plus verb plus ing is changing into had plus been plus verb plus ing. Now see, past perfect and past perfect continuous, no change. There is no change in past perfect or past perfect continuous. Means had plus V3 will not change, and had plus been plus V plus ing will also remain unchanged, no change. And also your present perfect continuous, that too will not change. Okay, now see, next part, change in tense for modal auxiliaries. Now what is modal auxiliaries? Modal auxiliaries are your helping verbs, that is your can, may, will, shall. Okay, can, may, will, shall. The format is will, shall, can, may plus verb. This is your format. Mohit can give you a gift will change into Mohit said that he could give me a lift. Mohit said I can give you a lift. Mohit said that he could give me a lift. So this will would change into would. Shall depends. It can be would, it can be should. Can will change into could and may will change into might. Okay. Nitya said it may rain today. Nitya said that it might rain today. See, may is changing into might. Can is changing into could. I will buy. She would buy. We shall reach. We should reach. Okay, we shall reach early. Father said that we should reach early. So, next rule, rule number 3. Rule number 3 is, if the reported speech relates to universal truth. This was all about, up to this modal tense, it was your corresponding past. You were changing into your corresponding past. If the reported verb is in your past tense, if the reported verb that is said, if it is said, then the entire thing was changing into your corresponding past tense. But rule number 3, what rule number 3 is? Rule number 3 says that even if your reported verb is in past tense, but if the reported speech, that is within the inverted comma, if the speech is a universal truth or a proverb or a historical fact, in that case it will not change. It will not change the tense. For example, he said the earth rotates around the sun. Now this earth rotates around the sun means this is a universal fact. This is a universal truth. It will never, the earth will never leave the sun, or the sun will never rotate around the sun, around the earth. This is a universal truth that is going on for millions of years, that the earth rotates around the sun. Universal truth. In this case, see, the tense will not change. Rotates, rotates. He said that the earth rotates around the sun. The Guru said God is one. Again, universal truth, God is one. The Guru said that God is one. I will not say the God was one. Is will not change into was. It's not like that God was sometimes one and now God is of different kinds. No. God was one then, God is one now even. So this kind of universal truth does not change the tense. India got freedom in 1947. India got freedom in 1947. It will not change. India gets freedom or India will get. It will never change, or had got changed freedom. No, the tense will always remain same. Okay. Rule number 4. The words showing nearness of time and place means in indirect speech, means the direct speech, if in direct speech there are words which are showing something at nearness, indirect speech will become further. For example, father arrived now. Father arrived. Mohit said father arrived now. If I change into indirect speech, Mohit said that father had arrived then. See, father arrived now. This arrived is my V2. Now means this is your direct speech at this point. If I change it to indirect speech, father had arrived then. V2 is changing into had plus V3, and now is changing into then. So now this changed to that, these to those, here, there, now, then, today. Father arrived today. Father arrived, had arrived that day. Tonight. Father will arrive tonight. Father would arrive that night. Tomorrow, the day after. The next day. The day after or the next day. Yesterday, the day before or the previous day. The previous day or the day before. These are the certain things up to rule number 4. Today in this class I will be completing only up to rule number 4. I would ask you to go through this and see if you have any problem. Okay, I had already completed this in your online classes, and even if you had doubt regarding this, I hope it will be clear. So go through this, read this properly, and I will be completing the next one in your next class. Next is your said, told, your interrogative sentences, imperative sentence and optative sentence. They are not that tough. The main thing that you have to keep in mind, the transformations, that what tense was transforming into what. Okay, the corresponding past tense, and also the pronouns. I will transform into what kind of name has been given, he, she, and these, those, the near things. And also pay attention that whether your reported verb is used in present tense, past tense or future tense, whether the direct speech, the quoted speech is a universal truth or a historical fact or just a simple sentence. Your changes will be depending on all these facts, whether the reported verb, whether the reported verb is your present tense or your future tense, whether the reported verb is in past tense, the conversion will take accordingly, whether the reported speech, the quoted speech within the inverted comma is a universal fact or a universal truth or a proverb, and the words that shows nearness will be transformed into the words showing the distance. So these are the very words that you have to keep in mind. So till then, read, stay home and stay safe.